Thank you, Linda, and good afternoon, everyone. It's a privilege to be here in Seneca Falls. And it's a privilege to see you again, Secretary Clinton. She disappeared. Oh, my goodness. It's a privilege to see her. I stand here this afternoon in awe of the women in this room who represent the finest of what this country is, of the brilliant and brave women of long ago who pushed the boundaries to get us here, and of the tremendous honor of being included in the National Women's Hall of Fame. I am so grateful to be with you on this mission of recognizing the rightful role of women in our nation's history. I feel proud and I feel humbled. I was born in Madras, India in 1955, the middle of 3 children in a busy household led by my grandfather, but totally held together by my mother, who was his daughter-in-law. My beloved father, who worked in a bank, helped us and cheered us on. And every month, he did something very important. He handed his paycheck to my mother. Overall, our lives were very typical in the decades after Indian independence, with one critical exception. This was a household of progressive thinking when it came to educating women. My sister and I were challenged and supported to excel in our studies, as well as things like music and sports, in exactly the same way as my brother and the boys around us. And those 3 elders, my grandfather, my father, and mother, were completely unified on this point, despite all kinds of social pressures, especially on my mother, to marry off her daughters at age 18. I started the first women's cricket team in India. In my college, I played guitar in the only all-girls rock band in the south of India. I was pretty hot stuff. Yeah. I have to confess it was a pretty bad rock band. But it was a rock band. Hey, I will never forget the fact that my daddy kept telling me that I should never put out my hand and ask anyone for money except my parents. He said, "We are investing in your education to help you stand on your own 2 feet," he'd say. "The rest is up to you. Be your own person." Now, I clearly see how this set me on my way. It gave me the confidence to see myself as an equal in ability and potential to the young men around me in college, and then as one of the few women at a top school in Calcutta, School of Business in Calcutta. And it gave me the courage to move at age 23, alone, across the world to the US to study at the Yale University School of Management. There, I immersed myself into an innovative program that taught us to think about capitalism within the broader societal experience, to focus on the intersection of the private, nonprofit, and public sectors. After I graduated from Yale, I went on to work in consulting, several big companies, and then I did a wonderful thing. I married a wonderful guy, Raj, my rock, who's here with me today. Yep. Together we had 2 beautiful daughters. We have 2 beautiful daughters. And I was challenged and invigorated by a fascinating career in business. I worked my butt off, but I loved every minute of it. And make no mistake, along the way, I had a super supportive spouse. I had a wonderful extended family who also helped us. I had great schools for my kids. I didn't do it all alone. In 2006, I was named Chairman and CEO of PepsiCo, an iconic American enterprise. I am well aware that my journey is an unlikely journey, a journey that I've said many times was and is only possible here in America. Today's celebration has me reflecting on women's power and leadership in the economy. And as Linda mentioned, as the only head of a Fortune 50 company who so far has been honored in this Hall of Fame. I honestly believe that capitalism, companies, and entrepreneurship are at the heart of a vibrant and successful democracy. And I believe that we need to do more to connect the world of business and corporate power to our society's collective efforts to advance women if we want to achieve a more just and equal world. But here's the problem. Women are more than half of the economic actors on this planet. But we don't have enough sway, especially in the rooms where the biggest economic decisions are made, in order to truly influence how the whole system works. Here's a case in point. In venture capital, where 65% of the firms have no women partners, just 2% of venture capital investments went to female founders last year. It's been rounded up to 2, it's really 1.93 or something like that. And we wonder why women's ideas don't get traction. For 12 years as CEO, I met regularly with some of the world's most influential people. And I assure you of one thing, those titans of industry, almost all men, really do talk a lot about GDP growth, advancing the world through finance, technology. They even talked about flying to the Mars and Moon. Family builders, and support to families was never a topic of discussion, even fleetingly. To them, family was female, family was fringe. That was always a real disconnect for me. As a leader of a company with 275,000 employees, a mother, a daughter, a wife, and someone who was so often asked, how did you do it? I was acutely aware of the joys of motherhood, the service I was providing to the country by giving birth to the next generation of citizens, and the intellectual stimulation and economic freedom I got from contributing to the paid economy. But I was also constantly reminded of the colossal pressure of combining work and family. So what should we do? First, we need to constantly remind ourselves that the numbers do matter. We cannot let slide our effort to help women rise to lead our biggest organizations. I was the 11th women CEO in the Fortune 500 when I took over. And guess what? 14 years later, we have 44, a whopping 9%. Don't clap. It's not worth a clap. We have so much more to do to build a robust pipeline to the top. We also need more women on corporate boards. Boards are where decisions affecting millions of people and billions of dollars are approved. If we keep waiting for retirements of existing members to fill board seats, it'll be a long time before women get on boards. I think immediately, companies should look to expand their boards so that women can be included onto boards. Second, I urge you to appreciate the power of great business leadership and the amplifying capability of private enterprise. Companies are not monoliths that cannot evolve and adjust. I think we proved that at PepsiCo, where, because of performance with purpose, we succeeded in making change in the company to focus on more nutritious products, environmental sustainability, and of course, our people. By the way, yes, we added fantastic childcare that filled up immediately, just as expected, and it helped us attract and retain top talent. It really works. Third, I believe we must focus on childcare and elder care with an energy and ingenuity like never before to help every worker handle the ebb and flow of life. You know, many people talk about care as a woman's issue. And of course it is. We still have the babies, we still do more at home, and we predominantly support aging parents. But make no mistake, care is an economic issue too. I believe that a more organized and robust care infrastructure would be profitable all around, for men, for women, for companies, for our country, because far fewer people would be forced to choose between paid work and looking after loved ones. With a With a robust care infrastructure, we will not be talking about the great resignation. Rather, we will be staring at the lowest unemployment rate in the history of our country and the great re-enrollment of anyone, especially women, who can and want to engage in the paid economy. The consequences for our GDP growth will be simply spectacular. So, let's keep working to pull care out of the shadows, out of politics, and into the realm of prosperity. It will be an investment to help many, as my dad said so long ago, stand on their own 2 feet, have economic freedom, have the power of the purse. I wish my dad was here to see me today. Thank you again for this wonderful honor.
Welcome Indra Nooyi into the National Women's Hall of Fame.